So go ahead.
Okay, great. Well, hi, everybody. Sorry for that little glitch there. For those of you who are new to this call, my name is Kelly Kolodny, and I do these calls every Sunday at 4 o'clock, and they're free. And I channel and bring in the angel Raphael, which I've been doing for 30 some years now. And as that happens, often we do Q&A and we ask questions, or sometimes we have a class where we're working with an activation or working with different energies. And to be 100% honest with everyone, I have not been feeling well yesterday or today and have kind of a headache. So I've never done this before, but I'm going to ask for anybody here on the call who is in a really good space filled with energy and feeling fabulous, and only if you're feeling fabulous, to send me some energy and some healing, and that will support me in being here for all of you today. Well, wait, Raphael's always talking about self-love and giving and receiving, and I'm not the best at receiving. So I'm asking for some beautiful energy to be sent in my direction. All right. So if you're getting on and you haven't done this before, the way that I personally channel is I close my eyes, I make some toning sounds. And after I make those toning sounds, Raphael will say hello. And wherever you are in the world, you can just say hello right back. And that will connect you to Raphael's beautiful energy. And then Raphael will come in and ask some questions. I just want to acknowledge that people in our Starseed class that we did in the spring, many of them are now in Mount Shasta, and they are preparing and receiving amazing light codes for all of us for Starseed 1 and Starseed 2. Casey and I were meant to be there. Normally we'd be there today, but we're not because there was a change in plans. But the beautiful beings are there doing the work, and we're receiving that. So I just wanted to acknowledge all of them. All right, so here we go. We'll just bring in Raphael and see what comes up.
Or Mom, do you want me to guide us through a little meditation to send you light and then we'll get started?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
So why don't everybody just close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in and envision holding hands with everybody on this call. And we're forming this giant circle of over 326 people, all holding hands, all connected. We're going to breathe in the energy of Mother Earth. We're going to hold it in our hearts, and then we're going to breathe in the energy of the universe and the sun and the source and hold that in our hearts. And then we're just going to beam that into a giant pitcher. And we're all going to share our unique light into this pitcher, filling it up with exactly what Kelly needs in order to channel and be of service to all of us right now. And the pitcher fills all the way up, and we visualize it as we're all pouring this light from our hearts into this beautiful pitcher. And let's envision Kelly now opening the top of her head as we pour that pitcher in, and all of her cells are being lit up. They're joyfully lit up, ready to sing, ready to share all the energy of Angel Raphael with us to help us support ourselves and humanity in expanding our consciousness and our light. Take a deep breath and see Kelly just shining with light, ready to serve. All right, and so it is. Thank you. Let's get started.
Thanks, everybody. That was so sweet. All right, here we go. Everybody want to just take a nice deep breath and ground deep into the earth. And just wrap yourself around the core. Ah, 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 ah. Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello,
Hello.
hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
I love
I
you.
love
I
you.
love you.
I love
I
you.
love you. Um, oh, oh, oh. It is that we are very delighted, as always, to be welcomed here and to talk to all of you from the angelic realm. And we are understanding that you have particular things in which you're wanting to talk about today. And so, what is it?
Hi, Raphael. So we're just closing up the Lion's Gate energy, and we were wondering what is the best way or practices or things that we can do to integrate that energy fully into our body and our life.
Well, you don't really need to think about it at all or worry about it. And we notice from our perspective that the collective is deeply embedded in the mind and more so perhaps than ever before. And it is that there is a lot of emotion occurring and swirling all around your planet at a very, very high level right now. And because of this, it makes it more difficult for you to integrate the magnificent and beautiful gifts that were given to you by the white lion vibration and energy. For as you know, the white lion does not come or appear very often, for it is rare and very sacred. But when it does come, it is quite the blessing of magnificent and beautiful honorings and hope and miracles and gifts. And as the white lion had mentioned at that time, a bit of warning to remind you to remember who you are. And so in order to integrate that, it is important for you to be in your center and to be aligned with your essence. And many of you have forgotten about the essence of self because you're so very busy all the time thinking and worrying about what will happen or what you have to do or the future, or agonizing about something you said or the past or something that happened to you, or you're very deeply involved in the emotion. And although the emotion is something you need to honor and the mind is a part to be of a servant to you, it is that there has been this deep forgetting of the essence. So, in order to integrate and to receive these gifts at this time, it is essential for all of you to remember your essence. And you might say, well, what really is the essence? And I want you to all close your eyes for a moment and just keep breathing and tuning in and tune into to your essence. It might be a quality and energy that is a signature of who you are. You might start to tune into being a little boy or a little girl and just feeling what your particular vibration, your essence is. There's an overriding energy of who it is that you are. Now, this is the essence that has formed, and although it is here, it is at the same time formless. It is permeating you and it travels with you through time and space as you age. And it is not in alignment with your name or your personality or your identity or what you do or what you do not do or any of that. It is something much purer than all of that. It is the part of you that came through the birth canal, the part that was is embodied in the form of the body, the spirit itself. But just take a moment and see if you can find that part of who you are, that essence. A memory may come to mind of doing something as a child, or many different memories may start to come. And as you're tuning into your essence, it is a quality of your being. Many of you might even talk about it or think about it as the I am that I am. but it is a little bit of a different quality than the I am presence, because it is fully and completely unique to your signature, to who you are, the vibration that is only resides in you and with you. And it has no opinion, it has no belief system, it has no ideas. It just is. But it does carry an energy and a quality and a vibration. So see if you can feel it. You might notice that there might be a sweetness to it as you tune into your spirit, or there may be a strength to it. There may be laughter and joy or humor with it. It might be that of the storyteller, the one of the healer or the gentle hand. But it is a quality that is you, who you are. And when you begin to align and attune to that essence that came with you as you came through the birth canal, as you were a newborn baby, that essence that moved with you as you began to crawl and to walk and to speak and to be, that same essence that is who you are, it continues to be with you. And over time, it may get a bit clouded, or it may get a bit shut down, or you may close your heart to it a bit, but it resides there. It lives and dwells within you because it is you. It is actually your essence. And when you begin to align with your essence, and you begin to move in your way of being from that place, that in which you choose to do, or decisions that you make, come with a great sense of knowing and a sense of deep clarity. And it is that when the white lion came, the reason he came to devour fear was that one of the things that gets in the way of you fully expressing your essence is fear. When you're afraid almost of yourself, afraid of your own knowing, afraid of your own power, of your own ability to fully express to the fullest potential of who you are. And as you experience the very deep shifts across the globe at this time, it requires for you to delve back inward, inside, to dive into spirit, and to reconnect, and to merge, and to remember, and to awaken that essence so that it may be your guiding light. And so in order to integrate the magnificent gifts that were brought to you by the white lion, you can only open to those gifts and fully receive and embody them within your being from that place of your essence. And it might not feel like something you can touch or put your mind around or wrap your thought around, because it is everything that is who you are. And so there's nothing that is tangible about it, but yet it is the most profound aspect of self. And when you begin to choose to bring awareness to your essence as you awaken in the morning and as you're moving through your day, you recognize that you begin to move from it, rather than moving from the mind or moving from the ego or moving from the belief system or moving from the personality. You move through life with your essence. And when you're moving through life with your essence, things become with ease, because what happens is that things are always happening and things are always moving by, and emotions can be high and joyful and magnificent, and they can be low and in deep pain and sorrow. But it is that the essence does not have that unwavering energy of up and down. It has a steadiness to it. And when you keep aligning to the steadiness of the essence, the emotion may come and arise, or the event may occur here or there, or the drama may show up in your reality, but you meet it from a place of steadiness, of groundedness. You meet it with your essence. And when you meet whatever is floating by with your essence, you're able to embrace it and witness it from a new place of being. And so, as the white lion came, he came to bring you the gift of freedom. And freedom can only be acquired or felt and embraced as it is opened up from the heart of the essence. And it is the same from your instincts. The white lion spoke to you about following your intuitive knowing. For the lion itself, it would be its scent and its sight and its hearing. And it is that the loss of that as you moved away from the indigenous cultures made it difficult for you to truly tune in to the instinct. But when you meet the world with your essence, your instincts are alert, they are awake, and the gift is embodied. And it is the same for your power. When you meet the world with your essence, the power that resides within you is fully open and expressed and grounded as you stand there and others look at you and see you in your power. And it is the same, of course, for the gift of patience and compassion that comes from meeting it with your essence and your courage and your vision and your protection and the stars, all of that. And so the white lion comes and says that he has given the gifts to you, and they may have felt just like words, but you weren't sure how to receive them. And he says, receive them from your essence, receive them from knowing who you are. For the lion that stands at the top of the mountain, in not question of his strength and power, not wondering of his purpose, but aligned completely with the essence, because the mind does not travel into the worry of the future or of the past. It is only where it is. And so the essence is always expressing itself to embody the gifts of the lion. And it is the same for you. And so as you travel through time and space, we want to remind you of this. And we know it's hard for you to fully embrace because you cannot wrap the mind or the ego around what it is. It may feel elusive, as though it is slipping through your fingers. But it is your fingers, because it is every aspect of who you are. It permeates your physical, emotional, mental, and etheric body. It is you. So close your eyes again, and in the stillness of the now, feel your essence. It is an energy that is running through your body. It is a quality that is you. It is moving. See if you can feel it and remember and know it. And as it becomes to bring its presence to you, welcome it to rise, so that its awareness and your awareness merge as one, because it is you. And begin to feel the essence of who you are beginning to expand. And as that essence begins to expand, notice if there is other thoughts now coming that are not about the essence of you, but other thoughts, and just allow them to pass. Do not attach or engage in those thoughts, but be the loving awareness witness to them. Feel the essence beginning to expand. And as your essence begins to expand, and the heart begins to open. Receive the vibration of these beautiful gifts, because these gifts are not coming from outside of you, but they are already yours. As you are willing to embody them and allow them to be free. And now that you are feeling this essence, we want you to see where the perimeter of it is. How far does it go? Is it just an inch or two away from the body? Or 3 or 4 or 5? Is it a quarter mile or half a mile or 10? Expand your arms if you need to and see if you can feel the energy of your essence. How far does it go beyond the physicality of who you are? How much light are you willing to emanate outward? And when you find a place in which it has reached its edge, take your hands and pull your essence in as if you are gathering up now your essence and pulling it closer toward you. You might feel a tingling in the hand as you pull the energy in, bringing it into the heart. And as you do this, you begin to feel a beautiful light in the heart. And you might start to feel it and play with it like a ball. And as you feel it in your hands, you can start to expand it again. And in the expanding of it, you feel your essence. And then the essence may come back in and out, just like the breath. You might feel the energy within your hands. This is who it is that you are. And as you choose to meet life from the quality of your essence, you find a sense of inner knowingness, a sense of peace, a sense of great beauty, and of remembering. So we just wanted to remind you of that, and we know it is quite easy and simple, and yet one can forget it in the midst of the chaos of the mind, in the busyness of the day, and the vibration of the planet. And so we encourage you to keep aligning and returning to your essence. And so, what is it?
Thank you so much, Raphael. That was so incredibly supportive of helping us remain centered in these chaotic times where everything seems polarized. And so I was wondering, what other ways could we support ourselves in these times of polarization, and what can we unite over together with people that are on opposite sides of political spectrums or on certain issues where there's so much divisiveness? What can we unite over, and how can we support ourselves of continuing to hold this center through these times?
Well, do you all have an essence?
Yes.
Yes. So you can unite around that. Do you all have a heart?
Yes.
And do all of your hearts beat?
Right, they do.
Yes. So you can agree on that.
Yeah, I think that we all can, right?
You can all agree on that. Are you all breathing?
Yep.
Yep. You can all agree on that. Are you all going to die?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can all agree on that. And so what is it again that you're all arguing about? It's a belief?
Yeah, many beliefs. Many people have different beliefs that is causing a lot of separation and conflict in people's families and friends and all their relationships.
Yes. And so what is it? It's that one of you is right and one of you is wrong.
Mm-hmm. And need
Mm.
each other's sides.
And so is that driving you forward toward your purpose?
Some people may feel like it is.
Mm. But is it really?
It's not up for me to say.
Mm. And so I encourage you all to embody the essence of another with a different belief.
Mm.
Perhaps take on their belief as that belief is true, and embody that to be true, and feel what that feels like. And see where it is that the belief that they are holding or having is coming from, what the origin of that belief is. And then go back and embody your own belief. And as you hold it, go back to where the origin of that belief comes from. And you might be very surprised that it comes from the same place. Because what you're both seeking may be the same thing. You just think that the way to get to the place in which you are seeking for is through a different train or a different avenue or a different vehicle. But what is it you're both really trying to achieve here?
Mm. Well, I'm not sure.
Well, you might want to look at that then and take some time, because in a willingness to look at it, one can begin to have compassion for another ideology, idea, or belief when you get to the origin of it. For some of the great things that have created such havoc culturally and ideology and all around your planet is the boxing in of a belief that my belief is right and your belief is wrong. And if you don't believe what I believe, then you're wrong. And I will do whatever it takes for my belief to be seen as right, which creates something that you call or label war. I believe in this religion, and my God is the only God, and this is the right way. And because I believe in this, and another believes that their God is the right way and the only way, then you're going to kill one another in order to believe in your own God, which has nothing to do with God itself, which is love. And so there is this fighting that occurs to own a belief. And so it's going to continue to present itself in all different forms. It might be a hot topic right now of something in which one believes one thing and one believes another, so that you can go to war about it. But it is the confining of an idea that you have decided is right and that the other one is wrong. But it is just a belief that is made up by the mind. It really isn't actually anything.
Mm.
And so what it's done is it's impeded the ability to be free of expression of whatever and whoever it is that you are, as long as it is not harming another. And so it has come up and it shows up in institutions, in religions, in governments, in education, in all different forms, to choose or to say that there is only one way or another way, and to place the energy of your essence in a box. And you might say, well, because I believe this, I think that's what she's talking about. She's talking about what I believe, because what I believe is right. Oh, maybe not. Maybe she's actually talking what I believe, because what I believe is right. I'm not talking about any of it. I don't have an opinion on any of that at all. But until you are all able to move beyond the parameters of the ideology of what you think to be right or wrong, moving toward what it is that you are for, not what you are against, There will be no solutions here. It will just continue to perpetuate itself, and it will jump from one thing to the next, in a willingness to embrace and to begin to bring compassion and acceptance and love toward each other, and to your thought forms around whatever that may be. Because what's happening is you are gotten so caught in this, and you're so much fighting about it, that you keep expanding upon it, and each of you are afraid of something. There is a fear, and one might say, well, they're afraid because they went and did this, and the other might say, well, they're afraid because they think if they do that, something will happen to them. Both of it is acting out of fear on some level. And so it really doesn't matter what the belief is, as long as the belief is acting from an alignment of love and a willingness to accept the belief of another. And then it doesn't really matter what you choose to believe. And we know that seems perhaps too hard to grasp because it's so far out from the mind and the ego and the place in which you are in linear time. And we understand that, but in more simpler terms, perhaps, just a willingness to embody and accept and embrace and love the other. And to stand not with force, but in truth of whatever that may be in alignment for you, and to accept the truth of another at the same time. If you look to some of the greatest leaders, they just chose what they were for, not what they were against. And they moved toward what they were wanting, and they saw the vision of that in alignment for the highest good of all. And they moved in that direction with an energy of steadiness, but without force. And with that, great change took place and occurred. It won't be solved through third parties. It won't be solved from an oversight. It can only be solved from within, internally, in your own knowing, and in your belief that in whatever your choice is that you are safe. Because it's all about what you believe anyway. It's all about what it is that you choose for it to be, because you are creating it to be that. So it's also very important that if there's something you're not choosing for the collective, that you're not giving it an enormous amount of energy, so that you're not anchoring it into truth, that you are aligning with what it is that you are moving toward, that you are wanting, not what it is that you are not wanting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And so how do we let go of the fears of the future and the overwhelm of everything that appears to be happening that feels like too much for many people?
You can only be where it is that you are, and you all know that, but it's the most difficult thing from our perspective as we witness for any of you to do, is to ask yourself, in this now moment, are you all right? In this now moment, is everything okay? In this now moment, am I breathing? Is my heart beating? Am I here? And even if that isn't happening, that's okay too. You can only be in the presence of where it is that you are, and the awareness and the witness to what is now, and all is well. Even if you're in the midst of a fire, in that moment, as you're witnessing it, you're the witness to it. You are with it. You are experiencing it. It is only in the projection of what will happen if I've lost my house, or where will I go to live next, or what will occur. But if you can drop truly into the awareness of the presence of your essence, as we were talking about before, where it is you are in that moment, there is so much to embody. There's so much to experience. There's so much to understand, to be with, and to know, utilizing the senses of the human experience in the loss of something as much as the gain of something. in the awakening of the spirit, of the breaking up open of the heart, when perhaps you stand and you look as the home in front of you burns, or the flood may come, or the hurricane may come, or an idea that is placed upon you. The growth of the expanding of the rawness of being able to stand in your essence in the face of whatever is coming your way, rooted and grounded in the knowing of the presence of the now. That is where the awakening really occurs. Doesn't mean you have to go through catastrophic events to have an awakening. It just means that despite them, if they are presenting themselves, you can still be fully capable of finding internal peace that resides from within, with the willingness to be present in the moment as it is unfolding. And the only place you're going to find that peace is in the stillness of the breath in the heart, and the willingness to go in and to ground and to know from where I am now in this moment as I breathe in the witnessing of what is occurring, everything is well. Many of you are very overwhelmed by circumstances or by the earth changes or about political ideas or things that are occurring or this virus. But when you step outside for a moment and you look at the blue sky and you feel the air and the flowers blooming or the snow wherever you are on the earth, and you are just present now where it is you are, it is magnificent. There is beauty all around you. There is so much bounty and love, and the earth is expressing herself with butterflies and beautiful trees, and the colors will be changing, and the snow will be dropping, and the rain will be coming, and the grass beneath your feet, and the ocean waves, and yourself in the sand, and the bird in the snow, and the chirping in the morning, and the meowing of the cat, and the dog laying on your lap, and the baby in your arms, and all that there is to enjoy and to embrace and to feel and to experience. But the mind gets caught in what's going to happen next. And then what if this happens? And then what if that happens? And then what will I do? And then where will I go? And then what will happen? And what will happen if this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that? And all of that is perpetuating more chaotic vibration across the planet that is mirroring back to you the chaos that you're worried about. And so what we're asking is what you know, but it's so difficult for whatever reason to keep coming back to it, which is the vision of your own purpose, of what you are moving toward, what it is that you are wishing and wanting to express, what essence that you have and that came forward as you were born on this planet to bring and to express out into the world, that you do it from a place of joy, and that as you're expressing from that place of joy, you keep aligning with the presence. And when you get off track and the mind starts to wander here and there and worry and upset, look to a buddy or a friend to say, come on, come back here. Keep one another accountable in the vision of what you are wanting to be, to feel, and to create. And if you can get in nature and you can get outside and you can just smell the air and get your feet on the ground in the land, and you can return to the elements of the fire and the water and the air and the earth, and you can get your hands in the soil and you can watch and see the sun set or wake up early to the morning dew and see the deer in the lawn, you begin to feel and remember the importance of the earth and your deep connection to it, and the beating heart that resides in her, that also resides in you and all of the fellow humans around the earth. And as you choose to be present here in the presence of that now, as the loving witness to what is, rather than the projection worry of what will be, you begin to create a new reality. And that is what is happening. You are having an opportunity now. A crack is opened in the illusion of what many of you might even call the matrix. It's cracked open right now, and things are crumbling because they have to fall in order for you to see through them, to see through the wall to something else, to remember your essence, to begin to build something new. But when you're in the middle of the part of the story, when the building is being whatever you might be, hit with something to crash and to fall down, you're so caught in the crashing down of the building that you think, oh my goodness, where will I be? What will happen? And you're worrying. But what will happen is you all will come together and you'll build something new. But you cannot build something new from a place of worrying and focusing on that the building is crashed and that it will always be crashed in rubble, and that you are left out abandoned in the air with no shelter. Because of course that's not the case. You're continuously moving and expressing and evolving forward. So it appears like great chaos. And as we have said many times before, it's like the caterpillar, the old analogy, and it goes into the time of the chrysalis, where it looks, if you just saw it at that moment, it would just look like goo, right? It's just goo. And so you might feel like goo right now, but you're in a metamorphosis process, and you will come out the other side and you will fly like the butterfly, but you have to be present where you are. And so it's so basic, and yet it is the most difficult thing for the human to embody and to do, because the mind continuously wants to create a drama, wants to create a problem, wants to create something to solve, wants to create catastrophe, wants to hang on to division. But there actually isn't any division in the presence of where you are here. It's actually an illusion that is being perpetuated by a narrative to keep you separated, so that you're so caught up in the worry and the fear that you can't align with the presence of who you are. But you see, as you come in droves together in the presence of the stillness, nothing can knock you down. And there is nothing and no narrative and no idea, no ideology that can knock you off your feet. Because you can be sitting in the middle of a city that is being bombed, and you can still be able to be at peace in that presence of that internal witness, of the internal knowing, in the steadiness of now, because you recognize that even in the bombing, and even in the bomb hitting you, and even in the death of the body, you are still eternal. Because the thing that you fear the most would be the death of the body, but it's not the death of you. You're an eternal being that is continuous. And so even that you can be present with, and with that you are freed into a magnificent butterfly that flies to the light. So there is actually nothing at any time for you to be afraid of, when you come to that real deep remembering and knowing that you are here anyway temporarily. And that if in this temporary moment in what you are here in the presence of the now, you can keep aligning with right here, look at the joy. Can you find the joy today? Can you find beauty today? Can you find gratitude today? Can you find blessings today? And as you continuously keep focusing on that, rather than the worrying that this or that or this or that is going to happen, then as collectively you continue to do that together, you are building something that becomes the reflection of the presence of your willingness to be grateful for the moment that you are in. And those moments continue to multiply, and it's so much that they become your experience. And they're just a mirror in which you are walking through this reality. But if you are all focused on that everything is falling apart, and if you're all putting your focus on that this is going to happen and that is going to happen, You see, and all that energy there, then you collectively start creating this. So you, and I say you as light workers, you might call yourself that, need to get to work. Get to work on going back to basics, which is meditating, being still, doing your practices, breathing, exercising, being in nature, eating good food, turning off the news, not looking at the news or even other information, just making discernment, tuning into your own internal compass and knowing, looking at and enjoying the beauty of the butterfly, sitting for an hour and just staring out the window at the trees, or better yet, under the tree, and looking at the sky and looking at the clouds and breathing in the air, and going where the children are playing and watching them on the swings and them laughing and running and joyful and not skipping and playing and not thinking or worrying about anything, an ideology, a government, a political idea, a way of doing something or not doing something. They're not thinking about any of that. Tune into that presence, that childlike presence, that's your essence, the essence we were speaking of. And so rather than getting in conversations, well, this person thinks that and that person thinks this, and what do you think about that? It's not that you don't have to have ideas or beliefs or want to stand up for what is right in alignment with your knowing and your truth, but that is not to encompass all of your experience. You need to tune back in and then be present in the real listening and the willingness to open yourself up to another's opinion, another's way of seeing. Because you might say, well, they're so closed-minded. Look how closed down they are. Because why? Because they think that? Or perhaps you're closed down because you think what you think. We love that idea. Well, they're so closed-minded. Why? Because they don't think what you think? Is that why they're closed-minded? So release the thinking. Perhaps your homework for the week is to not think at all. Can you not think at all for all week long until I see you next Sunday and report back to me? How are you doing then? Are you more lifted? Is your spirit lighter? Are you in a higher vibration? Maybe you can make a pact. You can write it in your chat right here. I choose not to look at anything negative all week for 1 week. I choose to, when I am tempted to look at something, to go outside instead. I choose to bring myself back into the presence of the now whenever I can. I ask for someone to be my buddy to say, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back into the stillness of the now, in the awareness of this moment, in the breath. I choose to work on gratitude. I choose to write every morning what all the things I am grateful for. Just this week, pick something this week to do that is propelling you toward that which you're wanting to create, because you are master creators. And so what we want to do with all of you in the star seed work is we want to create bubbles of magnificent beauty and creation and merge you all together as one to begin to amplify a new reality that becomes the reality in which you are all wanting and choosing to be in and to experience, rather than this reality of this division you speak of. Hello.
Hello, amazing, Raphael. I think that we should give Kelly a break, but thank you so much for that deeply insightful feedback.
Oh, you're welcome. We are loving you very much from the angelic realm, and we have not abandoned you as you might perceive or think in a way like, where are you all light beings? Come and save us. Because we are not outside of you, we are inside of you. And the more that you are in that stillness and in that meditation, the more you are able to feel, to know us and your own essence, the awareness of who you are, the vibration of love itself. So meet the day and the word and the breath and the moment and the week with love. And keep saying everything that I'm saying is in alignment with love. Everything I am doing is in an alignment with love. Everything I'm thinking of is in an alignment with love. Everything I'm looking at and reading and listening to is in alignment with love. And when you ask that, if you recognize that it's in alignment with fear, then choose something else. I love you. Many blessings and good day.
All right. Thank you, Mom. And I guess we just want to remind everybody that, we're working on Starseed 2, and a lot of it is about embodying that essence fully and activating our gifts so that we can serve expanding light at our full potential. And
Mhm.
so, everybody, like, let's get on that. And if you want to take Starseed 2, you got to take Starseed 1 first, which we're all going to do together. And it's going to be really powerful and exciting, just clearing through any shame, guilt, victimhood, all of this stuff so that we can crack open and sprout as these beautiful light beings that we all are. We're basically creating a light army. So if you haven't signed up for that already, you can go ahead and sign up for that. There'll be a link in the replay to check out.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And, I know it's easy for Raphael to say all those things, and it's hard when we're in it right now. And I mean, I'm so human and in it myself. And, it's a lot right now on the planet happening on so many different levels. But if that good old fashioned going back inside and that presence that Raphael was talking about will get us through. And what we will be doing in Starseed 2 is creating a collective reality that we all, as we come together in a really big group, and we can hold it together, we're going to seal it and actually protect it and create a dome of this altered reality based in unity and love around the planet. And as the more and more of us choose around the globe to do it, you don't have to do it like our Starseed 1 and 2 is a beautiful class and I'd love for you to be in it, but there may be some other way that you want to do it, and that's okay. But however we do it and wherever it works for you, is that holding the vision of us being together and merging as these star seeds of light that are creating the new earth and seeing solutions to some of the things right now that feel like there's no answer to them, or sometimes we feel hopeless, like how are we going to solve any of this? We're only going to solve it if we do it together and we believe that we can do it, and we keep holding ourselves to a higher calibration of a higher vibration that doesn't keep dropping into the fear. And when we do that, we can do this. I feel like Raphael's been talking about this time that we're in for 30 years, and now we're actually in it. And it's not what I thought it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be totally different than this. I really didn't think it was going to be about a virus and climate change and political division and division around vaccines and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if, in the Starseed class, whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or you got vaccinated or you didn't get vaccinated, or, you live, in the Middle East, or you live in California, or you're Black or you're white or you're Jewish or you're Catholic, it doesn't matter. We're coming together as people who want to bring more light to the planet. And it's not about our individual beliefs. It's about how can we create a healthier earth and how can we reconnect with that earth and make a vision for a world where we can unify and love with one another despite our differences. So I'm really excited about doing that and creating this starseed grid around the earth. And I really would love for you guys to join us. It's going to be really powerful. And if now isn't the time, I don't know when is. And what I love about the star seeds is that it doesn't matter what your belief is, and I don't really care. And I don't think it should matter what mine is. It's not about any of that at the end of the day, right? I don't think, as the white lions came last week, I don't think the lions have different political agendas. They're just all together, right? I don't think they're like, hey, you get over there because you're a Democrat. I'm vaccinated. Get out of that cave. Oh, you're not. Get in. No. So let's lighten up, let go a little bit, have some fun, and we can do this. That's what we were born to do, right? We're not leaving this earth shattered in rubble for our kids. I'm certainly not, and my grandkids. Let's pull this thing out. Let's make it happen. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Mwah. Have a wonderful week. Be in the love. Bye.